ودي كlar. Ja, kör kozen då lite annars när det var så det en evig hala då. We took Leandra fishing first time we had her. We came back, she was just swollen 3 times the size. We didn't know what was going on. Then we tried to ask our elders, like Yolanda's grandma. She didn't know what was going on too, so she got a medicine man. Yeah, try, baby. I think our elders were expecting once they took it to the medicine man that Leandra was going to be back to normal, whatever normal is. But it didn't happen. But then we took her to the hospital. Most of the doctors didn't know, but when geneticist doctored, he's like, right off the bat, he kind of knew it was XP. And then my son was born, and we did a test right off of him, and he was positive too. So. And that's how we found out that they had XP, and then from there, it's like tug-of-war struggle between tradition and science.
What Leandra and Darnell have is xeroderma pigmentosa. It's a rare syndrome that they're unable to repair their DNA within their skin. So it would mean that they would have to avoid this direct sunlight as much, pretty much their entire life if possible. When Darnell passed away, it took me a long time to get over his death.
2 years, sonny boy. I still remember.
But we know we were kind of chosen parents to have kids with disabilities. They were brought to us to teach us something, and that's for us to figure out why we were given 2 kids like this. I didn't know at the time when Leanne and Dar were diagnosed that there were other kids in New Mexico. But when I started inquiring, that's when I wanted to know the other families in Farmington area. Hi, how are you doing? Good. Hi, LaRonda. How you doing? This looks like my daughter.
Does she?
Leanne used to be like that. Walk, eat, and stuff. She's 15. But more like within the past year, she stopped eating and drinking. Mm-hmm. She has the tube in her stomach now. It's so hard. Thank you. Do you want me to drink some? Yeah.
Stay inside. When we first found out that Lance had it, he was a couple weeks old. I took him to the doctor and they said that I had intentionally burned him. Nobody knew anything about XP at that time. Even the doctor that diagnosed, it took him, I think, 3 years before he finally gave me some information. And eventually my son passed. Oh, dear. Where's Donnie? Hey, get back inside. Donnie. In my family, we have several medicine men, and because of my traditional upbringing, I took that route. You need the light off or lower light?
Probably lower light be fine.
You can go ahead and explain how you're asking for help, as far as your children.
All I know is that we keep them out of the sun. I don't really take them out anywhere. If we do, they get sunburned.
As Native people, our belief that, everything, even the nighttime has a spirit to it, is something living. And if we don't respect it, then we're going to be affected by that.
When we took Leandra to the medicine man, he brought back with a diagnosis saying that it was part my fault for the way my kids are, because I played with nature in ways that I shouldn't have played with it. You know, like burning ants with, you know, magnifying glasses. That's an ant mound. These are red. Red versus gold. I'm doing it again. I'm creating war. Navajo tradition, something's gonna be your fault, you're doing. Like, you had it coming.
For whatever reason, New Mexico is overrepresenting the number of cases of this neurodegenerative form of xeroderma pigmentosum. Yeah. And it all happened that they came from the Navajo population that was living up around the northwest corner of the state.
I was trying to explain to my parents, I guess they want to know, like, what happens as she grows.
Right, I don't know. I think the main thing is that we can't see inside what, even if we can see the brain, we can't really see how it's working. And so you would just have to make your best guess, just as I would.
Le farmen tinji so alchin an hin hilt nahalo. Dal tsisieda. O ito ajil to alchin tha so tenon.
Atlantic top between
Yeah.
the XPA.
Oh. So you nahashit ad net khachi you. Ki khalchini ki elto hashit ad net khachi lai. It's in le long walk is such. Halit alkit isnadan. So Navajo Jewa Adla. In our way, everything is taboo. The long walk, we don't talk about it because it's something bad that happened, and why bring up bad memories? I don't know if it's fear or respect. But the stories are being forgotten in that way.
In 1864, a good number of the Navajo people were in the vicinity of Canyon de Chelly, a very forbidding place with high, wide canyons. Troops were sent through Canyon de Chelly to stop them from raiding into New Mexico. They campaigned against the Navajo. They tried to seal off the water holes. They burned all the crops. They killed the stock. And whenever they saw Navajo, they'd kill them too. Between 8,000 and 11,000 Navajo were captured or surrendered and taken down to Bosque Redondo. A total mileage of the long walk is probably 400 or 500 miles. The weather was cold, the weather was bad. Elderly people and children who couldn't keep up with the group, when they fell back, troops would fall back and kill those people. For the Navajo people, the long walk was their Holocaust. The long walk was their Bataan death march.
During the 19th century, people were being torn away from their homeland, a place where they have spiritual connections, you know, their prayers, their offerings are set there. And to be moved out of that, you know, that creates that disharmony. As generations go on, you know, we still feel those effects.
As these families were marching, there were people that escaped, and they wound up living in sort of small enclaves. And there was a higher likelihood that, say, people who were more, somewhat distantly related to each other, if they both left into a small community, would then have a child that had the chance of having a rare autosomal recessive disease.
le holte gonnas kagishi are ben nata sitja innan kalchinik a hodat enna noye. Ada tse anida noye. Atten tsko ada. Shimasane yan del tsko ada tenede ya at ku asahay. Stansi dishi. Stansi dishi.